Good evening, you're watching Express News with me Nancy Kohli. Let's take a look at the top stories of the day. The total number of active coronavirus cases in India has risen to 134, including 25 foreign nationals. One case each has been recorded from Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, Punjab, Tamil Nadu, Uttarakhand and West Bengal. The highest number of 39 confirmed cases have been recorded from Maharashtra. The External Affairs Ministry has also given out details of number of coronavirus infected Indian citizens abroad. Total 276 are infected, of which Hong Kong, Kuwait, Rwanda, Sri Lanka have 1 each, Italy 5, UAE 12, while Iran has the highest number, which is 255. The External Affairs Ministry says the Indian government has evacuated 591 Indians from Iran till now, with 201 Indians brought back from Tehran by Iran's Mihan Air. They will be quarantined at the army facility in Jaisalmer. The team of 6 Indian health officials is deputed in Iran to set up testing and sampling facilities. Air Asia flight to evacuate Indians stranded in Malaysia is likely to reach Kuala Lumpur. The External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar tweeted about the approval by the Indian government as Malaysia locked down all the travel in and out of the country to curb coronavirus spread. There is no adverse impact of coronavirus on the Indian economy, the Minister of State for Finance Anurag Thakur said, that adding that Indian missions abroad are exploring alternate sources of supply of raw material which are vulnerable to disruption due to COVID-19. BJP has decided to not participate in any agitation or demonstration for the next 1 month. Announcing the decision, Party President JP Nadda further said that only on important issues 4 to 5 party office bearers will give memorandum to concerned authorities without any conglomeration of the people. Thermal screening facility put in place in Parliament to screen all the members of Parliament and staff from the COVID-19. Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu also screened himself like other members. The Parliament House is also disinfected to avoid any spread of the infection. Novel coronavirus has led to closure of many temples and pilgrimage sites. The Shrine Board of Vaishno Devi pilgrimage has been closed from today. The Rambeshkar Temple in Nashik, ISKCON Temple also announced similar crowd restricting measures. IIT Bombay has announced a virtual shutdown of its campus at Powai in Mumbai till 31st of March in view of the novel coronavirus outbreak. The institute administration has also asked students to vacate hostels by 20th March evening. The CBSE has issued guidelines for the rest of the board examinations. The guidelines say that each center superintendent should ensure that the candidates are seated at a distance of 1 meter from each other and masks are provided to candidates who cough or sneeze. In an effort to avoid unnecessary gathering at the railway stations, the Delhi Division of Railways increased platform ticket price to 50 rupees from 10 rupees earlier. Thermal screening facility also in place at the New Delhi station. Other stations in the country likely to follow suit. Moreover, over 70 trains have been cancelled by various railway divisions to curb virus spread. Trains are also being disinfected regularly by the railway staff. The Indian Embassy in Italy has said that despite the current lockdown in the country, it is doing all that is possible within the limited resources to support and assist more than 300 Indian students in Rome and nearby areas. The swab tests of students have been taken and reports are awaited. In the Rajya Sabha, as the 0 hour ended, the Congress MPs entered the well and raised the issue of political crisis in Madhya Pradesh. The Congress MPs also raised detaining of Digvijay Singh by the police. The chairman adjourned the House till 2 in the afternoon due to pandemonium. Union Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad said during the question hour in the Lok Sabha that the government has taken a conscious decision to revive both BSNL and the MTNL because the public service they do. The minister further said that the government is providing 4G spectrum to BSNL. During the question hour, Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal said that 102 lakh crore rupees are being invested in the field of infrastructure. He further said that these measures are taken to boost development in India when the global economy is going through challenges. Digvijay Singh and other Congress leaders who were taken into preventive custody after they tried to meet the rebel Congress MLAs in Bengaluru resort. Singh alleged that the rebel MLAs want to meet him, but police is not allowing that. However, the rebel Congress MLAs later released videos saying they do not want to meet Digvijay Singh and their resignation be accepted as they have resigned voluntarily. Madhya Pradesh BJP has written a letter to the Election Commission of India saying that Digvijay Singh is violating the Model Code of Conduct for the Rajya Sabha elections by pressurizing the MLA staying in Bengaluru. The BJP has sought appropriate action against Digvijay Singh. Congress workers and leaders in Madhya Pradesh staged a protest in front of Raj Bhavan and said that if the governor does not bring back the 16 MLAs from Bengaluru, then they will encircle the BJP MLAs' houses. They were later taken away by the police. In Madhya Pradesh political crisis, the Apex Court refused to accept the Congress's proposal for producing 16 rebel MLAs of Congress in Judges' Chamber and observed that they may or may not go to the assembly, but they cannot be held captive. The matter is deferred till tomorrow. Hangman Pawan conducted dummy execution at the jail in Delhi today. 4 Nirbhaya death row convicts are scheduled to be hanged on 20th March early morning. Supreme Court said it will hear Sarah Palet's plea against detention of her brother and former Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Omar Abdullah on merit if the centre and the J&K administration do not inform the court about his release by next week. Omar Abdullah is under house arrest since the 5th of August last year. The Supreme Court has taken suo motu cognizance of the non-availability of midday meals to children as schools in many parts of the country are shut due to coronavirus pandemic. The bench headed by Chief Justice S.A. Boble has sought response from the states and union territories about how they are providing the midday meal to children amid shutdown. Supreme Court refused to take up Centre's plea for allowing telecom companies to pay AGR dues in 20 years. The Apex Court also pulled up Centre and telecom companies for doing self-assessment of the AGR dues fixed by it, saying it can be taken as contempt of court. Supreme Court, while exercising its powers under Article 142, restrained Manipur Cabinet Minister T. Shamakumar from entering the Assembly and removed him from ministerial position. This was after the Assembly Speaker didn't take decision on disqualification petition filed against Shamakumar for defecting from the Congress to the BJP in 2017. Yes Bank has started full financial services from this evening after the end of moratorium. This is the first time in the banking history that a moratorium is lifted from a commercial bank, as in all the earliest cases, such lenders were merged with the other banks. Telecom shares came crashing, led by Vodafone Idea, which plunged 35% after the Supreme Court pulled up the Centre and telecom companies for doing self-assessment or reassessment of the AGR dues fixed by the Apex Court. Bharati Airtel also declined 6.14% to close at 426 rupees. After swinging over 2,488 points in a highly volatile session, the Sensex closed 1,709 points lower at 28,869. The Sensex has closed below the 29,000 mark for the first time since January 2017. On similar lines, the broader NSE Nifty plummeted 498 points to end at 8,468. Crude oil futures plunged 116 rupees to 1,979 rupees per barrel as participants trimmed their positions in line with the weak trend overseas. The Indian rupee paired initial gains to close 2 paise lower at 74.26 against the US dollar amid sustained foreign fund inflows and heavy selling in the domestic equities. Gold prices rose by 311 rupees to 40,241 rupees per 10 grams in the national capital amid rupee depreciation and higher buying. Silver futures plunged 722 rupees to 34,731 rupees per kilogram as participants cut down their bets, taking weak cues from overseas markets. Federation of Indian Export Organizations said that export sector has started feeling the pinch of the outbreak of coronavirus as international buyers are asking to hold back shipments. The FIEO are expecting that in the coming days, significant number of such requests would come, which could eventually lead to cancellation of the orders. European countries have moved into near total lockdown in a bid to halt the rapid spread of the deadly coronavirus. From France to Germany to Spain, millions were confined to their homes as shops and restaurants closed and borders were sealed. In Italy, anyone entering the country need to self-isolate for 14 days unless they are only stopping over for 72 hours or can prove that they must show up for work. The measure will stay in effect till 25th of March. Italy has recorded more than 2,100 coronavirus deaths and nearly 28,000 infections. In Spain, the officials from the Spanish military unit in full protective suits, masks and gloves sprayed disinfectant at the hospital to stem the spread of coronavirus. Cleaning officials were also seen in Madrid spraying disinfectant on the roads, pharmacy entrances and cafes. Across France, all the citizens were ordered to remain indoors to combat the COVID-19 outbreak. People are only permitted to leave their houses on a limited basis, like to buy food or for health reasons, and must carry a document declaring their outing. 175 people have died due to coronavirus in France so far. Belgium has imposed a lockdown from this afternoon until the 5th of April to restrict the movement of people in order to contain the spread of coronavirus. The Belgian Prime Minister said that travel within the country will be limited to visits to supermarkets, pharmacies and banks or for the cases of emergency. In Argentina, long-distance trains and buses and internal air transport will be suspended from Friday midnight until 25th of March. Argentina has already closed borders and ordered tough isolation measures to slow the spread of the respiratory illness. Argentina has recorded 65 confirmed cases of the coronavirus and 2 deaths. European Union leaders agreed to close Europe's borders for 30 days to prevent the spread of coronavirus. The 27 countries bloc, however, suggested to establish fast-track lanes at their countries' frontiers to keep goods moving. Following the European Union crisis video call, the German Chancellor announced immediate plans to close the borders to all the non-European Union, EFTA or UK residents. Angela Merkel said European Union's decision to prevent the further spread of the coronavirus had been unanimous. French Prime Minister has warned the UK must up its coronavirus quarantine measures in a further sign that some European leaders are uneasy with the UK's approach to reducing the spread of the virus. He said if the UK continues not to apply any measures, we will find it difficult to accept British nationals on our territory. Sri Lanka has decided to stop all the flight arrivals at Colombo airport from today midnight in a bid to counter COVID-19 crisis, which has affected 35 people in the country so far. The ban on passenger flight arrivals will be in force till the end of this month. In China, the health authority has confirmed 13 new cases of COVID-19 and 11 new deaths. A total of 69,601 people had been cured and discharged from the hospital, while 3,237 people had died of the disease by the end of Tuesday. South Korea reported 93 new coronavirus cases. The daily tally marked the 4th day in a row that the country has posted fewer than 100 new infections. The new cases brought South Korea's total infections to 8,413 and death toll rose by 3 to 84. Brazil confirmed its first death from the deadly coronavirus as tests are underway on 4 other possible victims of COVID-19. A 62-year-old man with a history of diabetes and hypertension died from the virus after checking into a private hospital in the state. Turkey has also confirmed its first death related to coronavirus on Tuesday. The country more than doubled its confirmed cases to 98 from 47 a day earlier. Tunisian president has announced night curfews starting from today in a bid to halt the spread of the coronavirus. He said that the army will patrol the streets with the curfew running daily from 6 in the evening to 6 in the morning. Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison said the country's citizens should abandon all the overseas travel and ban all the non-essential indoor gatherings of more than 100 people. Morrison upgraded the official travel advice for Australians thinking of heading overseas to an unprecedented level 4, that's do not travel for the entire world. Malaysia has announced plans for a partial lockdown which starts from today. The country reported its first 2 deaths related to COVID-19 outbreak, with the total number of cases climbing to 673. With 2-week partial lockdown after coronavirus infections, Malaysia has also shut its borders with Singapore after infection in the country spiked to the highest in Southeast Asia. Moving on now, Joe Biden won the Florida and Illinois primaries, building on a remarkable surge as he barrels towards the Democratic presidential nomination at a time when the nation is gripped by concern about the coronavirus. Saudi Arabia announced it would conduct the virtual G20 meeting, bringing together leaders from major economies to address the global coronavirus crisis and discuss policies to safeguard the global economy. The idea to conduct a virtual G20 meet came after Prime Minister Modi's initiative of organizing a video conference among the SAARC countries on the coronavirus pandemic. Australia's former skipper Ricky Ponting said the 2008 Monkey Gate scandal was the lowest point of his captaincy stint, as he feels he was not in control of what happened at that time. The scandal unfolded when Harbhajan Singh was charged with racially abusing Andrew Symonds but was eventually cleared of the charges. Anthony Joshua's world heavyweight title defense against Kubrat Pulev could be delayed until July due to the chaos caused by coronavirus. Joshua is due to fight Pulev at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on 28 June. All the top-flight football matches have been suspended until early April. The 2020 African Nations Championship has been postponed after host Cameroon requested April's competition be shelved amid the coronavirus outbreak. COVID-19 virus is under control in Cameroon, but the organizers asked the Confederation of African Football to reschedule the tournament. Olympic pole vault champion Katerina Stefanidi said athletes were being forced to take health risks as competitors started to speak out about holding the Tokyo Games during the coronavirus crisis. Stefanidi and Johnson both voiced concerns after the decision of the IOC to run the games as scheduled. Former India badminton coach Vimal Kumar is extremely disappointed with the way Indonesian doubles coach Flandy Limpel left abruptly in an Olympic year and said foreign appointees must be held accountable for departing without completing their tenures. FIFA president proposed delaying next year's revamped 24-team Club World Cup in China after UEFA postponed the European Championship until 2021 because of the coronavirus pandemic. The Copa America has also been postponed by a year. Euro 2020 has been postponed by 1 year until 2021 because of the coronavirus pandemic. European football's governing body made the decision during an emergency video conference involving major stakeholders. Wimbledon organizers are still planning to play the Grand Slam this year despite the coronavirus chaos that led the French Open to be pushed back. Wimbledon remain hopeful that play at the grass court tournament will be able to go ahead if the spread of the virus is slowed. Tokyo Olympic organizers said a test event in gymnastics set has been cancelled. Tokyo 2020 officials say that they will attempt to carry out an operational test on the same day. It is unclear if athletes will be included. The French Open has been delayed to September and October as a result of coronavirus pandemic. The event was due to be played from 24th of May to the 7th of June at Roland Garros. Several athletes across the world are participating in World Health Organization's Safe Hands Challenge. Indian shuttler PV Sindhu has taken the Safe Hands Challenge. She posted a video on Twitter in which the 24-year-old was seen washing her hands with soap for almost 30 seconds. Sports Minister Kiren Rijiju was quick to respond to Sindhu's challenge. He took to Twitter, posting a video in which he is washing his hands. And following the trail, sprinter Hima Das also took the Safe Hands Challenge and posted videos on Twitter. Hima urged people to wash hands properly and regularly wherever they are. The 2020 Copa America, South America's regional international competition, has been postponed. The Copa America was due to kick off in June in Argentina, and Colombia was postponed by a year to 2021 because of the coronavirus pandemic. Juventus midfielder Blaise Matuidi has tested positive for coronavirus. The Serie A club say that the France World Cup winner has been in voluntary isolation since 11th March. 32-year-old is the second Juventus player to be confirmed to have the virus. Basketball player Kevin Durant has tested positive for COVID-19. Durant, a former MVP and one of the most talented and popular players in basketball, is one of the 4 players on the Brooklyn Nets to test positive. The Japan Olympic Committee Deputy Chief Kozo Tashima said he had contracted coronavirus. Tashima said he had been on a business trip since the 28th of February. He then traveled to watch the Japanese women's team for the Women's World Cup before returning home. The Cricket Association of Bengal followed the footsteps of the BCCI and the Maharashtra Cricket Association by closing down all its office till Saturday as a precautionary measure against the ongoing coronavirus outbreak. The youth fashion brand from Universal Sports Biz chose South Africa cricket legend AB de Villiers as the face of rock active and electric range of lifestyle apparel that is high on both performance and fashion and is an extension of the brand. Australian fast bowler Ken Richardson has said he and other players from his country are awaiting the next order on the IPL. 17 Australians have to play in the league. In view of the rising outbreak of coronavirus, Indian athletes who went for training in Turkey and South Africa have been ordered to return to India immediately. Kevin Durant said that he's among the 4 Brooklyn Nets players to have tested positive for coronavirus. The Nets confirmed that 4 players had returned positive tests for COVID-19 less than a week after the global outbreak prompted the suspension of the NBA season. Regardless of how the COVID-19 pandemic plays out in the coming weeks, Facebook has announced that it's creating a $100 million grant program for small businesses. It will be available to up to 30,000 businesses in the 30-plus countries where Facebook operates. According to a U.S. government-funded study, the novel coronavirus can survive on surfaces or in the air for several hours. Scientists found that the virus that causes the COVID-19 disease had similar levels of viability outside the body to its predecessor that caused SARS. Scientists in Australia have identified how the body's immune system fights the COVID-19 virus. The research shows people are recovering from the new virus like they would from the flu. With an aim to protect the people amid COVID-19 pandemic, the members of the Sri Jain Alert Group in Maharashtra distributed hand sanitizers and masks to people. Meanwhile, the Maharashtra Central Railway has vinyl-wrapped a 12-coach Mumbai local train with messages regarding COVID-19 in order to raise awareness among the commuters. After the government ordered closing of all the gyms and swimming pools across the national capital to prevent the spread of coronavirus, people have started thronging parks and open gyms for jogging and exercise. As restaurants and bars brace for huge losses amid the coronavirus pandemic, some business owners in Washington are taking action to soften the blow for industry workers. Chef Jose Andres, who runs a non-profit established kitchen to provide food in the wake of natural disasters, is offering to-go meals at its signature restaurants in Washington and New York. While Chicago's Shed Aquarium is closed to public due to coronavirus quarantine, without guests in the building, caretakers are getting creative in how they provide enrichment to animals, resulting in a field trip for some of the penguins at the aquarium. Washington Sanctuary for Chimpanzees has scaled back its staffing and donned personal protective gear to avoid infecting the primates during the worldwide coronavirus pandemic. The Chimpanzee Sanctuary Northwest cares for 10 older chimps, most of whom were born in laboratories. The tourism marketing body Tourism Ireland has turned buildings inside across the globe green to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. Video released by the group featured iconic sites around the world draped in green. Tourism Ireland said it supports staying home to prevent the virus from spreading. British singer, songwriter and lead singer of the band Coldplay, Chris Martin, took to social media and put on a live show for people who have self-isolated themselves due to the deadly coronavirus outbreak. The musician tagged his session as "Together at Home." Rome's town hall was lit up in colors of the Italian flag in a show of solidarity with the country as it continues to battle the deadly coronavirus. The crisis has pushed hospitals to breaking point at the epicenter of the contagion in northern Italy and left other regions scrambling to strengthen their own health systems. As the Lebanese-American writer Khalil Gibran once said, music is the language of the spirit. It opens the secret of life, bringing peace, abolishing strife. In Barcelona, the saxophone player Alex Lebron used his music to raise the spirits of Barcelona residents. During the national quarantine, as Spanish streets remained eerily quiet under partial lockdown due to COVID-19. Amid rising concern over coronavirus situation, Amitabh Bachchan shared a picture of his hand on Twitter with the home quarantine stamp on it. He wrote, "Keep safe, be cautious, remain isolated if detected." Kareena Kapoor Khan refused to appear in the shooting of the ad film, which was run during the IPL due to fear of coronavirus. Some foreign players also had to join, and because of this, the set for the ad film was dismantled. After third death in the country, Maharashtra Tourism and Environment Minister Aditya Thackeray has ordered the closure of all the types of shootings from films, TV and web series with immediate effect. Actor Ayushmann Khurrana shared self-written prose dedicated to low-income group of the country that are among the most affected by coronavirus shutdown in the country. Anushka Sharma took up the Safe Hand Challenge and shared a video to demonstrate how to wash hands as recommended by the WHO. Veteran singer Anup Jalota said he was quarantined in a hotel in Mumbai after returning from London as a preventive measure. Born on the 18th of March in 1938, actor-filmmaker Shashi Kapoor was one of Hindi cinema's most prolific actors. He was a recipient of several accolades, including the 4 National Film Awards. British Academy of Film and Television Arts BAFTA on government advice has officially postponed its annual Television and Television Craft Awards. The much-anticipated Marvel flick Black Widow has been pushed back by Disney over growing concerns of coronavirus. It was supposed to release on 30th April in India. The Producers Guild of India announced that it would set up a relief fund for daily wage earners impacted by the complete shutdown of the film and television productions due to COVID-19 pandemic. And with that, it's a wrap on this edition of the news. Thanks for being with us.